So before we press record on the camera, before we get into the nitty-gritty of actually creating content, I do need to walk you through some sort of theoretical stuff. We'll call it theoretical. Because it's really important that you understand certain concepts so you don't waste your time. Just bear with me for these lessons because I know you're probably dying to just hit record and get going. Let's start with the concept of leverage. Leverage in online music education comes in two forms, and they're both really powerful. The first one, as a teacher, you'll be finding yourself teaching things over and over again. Let's say you have 10 beginner students and you have one-on-one lessons back to back. Very likely there'll be certain questions, certain problems that need solving that come up again and again and again, and you have to explain it again and again and again to multiple people. With online education, you can take that information, make it very succinct, crystallize it down, maybe even create some additional materials to support that teaching, and you don't have to repeat yourself suddenly all over again. You can have someone learn that lesson and it can be taught to an infinite amount of people on their own schedule. The other wonderful thing is that the student is not always ready to learn what you're teaching. Maybe in the beginner stages this is not so applicable, but as they get into intermediate territory, it really is about when the penny drops for certain people about that concept or technique. And so the great thing for the student is that they can re-watch or relearn certain materials that make sense to them when they're ready. So the leveraging of information is huge in online education. It's so powerful for both you, that you can spend some focused time creating the content and then you don't have to deal with it again unless you want to revise it. And it's powerful for the student because they can absorb that information when they're ready and repeatedly if they need to. So leveraging information is number one. Number two is leveraging your time. And this is really, I think, a hugely attractive aspect of online education. As a musician and as a music teacher, you are already very familiar with the agreement of time for money. That's where you give your time to a music student and they give you money for that time. Half-hour lesson, an hour lesson for a set rate, there it is. The problem with that is it's not scalable. There's only so many hours in the day and there's only one of you. With online education, you can invest time now. Maybe it'll take a week, a month, 6 months to create this course. But once it's done, it exists and people can use it and enjoy it and benefit from it for years to come. You can also improve on it once it's done. It's not a static thing. It can be changed and adapted and improved, even incorporated in a larger curriculum if that's where you'd like to go with it. So leveraging your time is a wonderful, wonderful aspect of online education. And it's how we choose the materials to create in these early stages that's so crucial. So following on from here, we're going to be looking at making sure we're making the right choices from the very beginning, aligning them with students that have particular problems that we can solve. And if we make those early research choices and investigations, then we're going to be really clear about our message when we get to marketing, and also what we're going to be teaching to solve a specific problem. So leverage comes for information and for time, and it's absolutely wonderful in online education.